Hey everybody, welcome to Harmon Garage. I'm Aaron, and today is an evergreen kind of day. And if you don't know what that means, I'm about to tell you, because what we're working on today is my 1972 Chevy C30 custom dually, thoughtfully named Evergreen. So here she is in all her glory. And as you can tell, if you haven't watched the other videos in this series, there's a playlist called Evergreen. Go check it out. And we've got everything from when this thing was a 20-foot flatbed all the way to its current state, and we'll continue on as the build on it goes on, because we're getting this truck ready to go to the truck gathering April 19th and 20th. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure April 19th and 20th, Guthrie, Oklahoma. And me and this truck are gonna be there, and you should too. You don't want to miss it. Probably one of the best truck shows of the year. There's gonna be another big event going on around Guthrie at the same time, so it's just a huge ordeal this year, or this coming year. So anyways, that's the plan. This truck has to be done by basically the beginning of April, so I know it's ready to go, and we're quite a ways off from being there. So today I'm gonna get back working on the bed. I'm kind of starting at the back of the truck, working my way forward, and so yeah, I've already cut out the wheel wells so that they fit. I've already made one brace for up here and mounts on the frame for it to mount to. Our rear braces were already there. They're bolted in. We did a bunch of work on this tailgate that our buddy found for us and got it on there and good. So today I want to finish getting the bed all sturdied up and mounted. So I want to be able to mount it, and I'm not saying we won't ever pull it back off in the build process, but I want it to be pretty much permanently mounted to where if I don't have to take it back off, I'm not going to. And in order to do that, we need to put in another brace right here. We need to build boxes for our wheel tubs that we have to build to sit on, and then we need two inserts here in the middle for our wood to sit on when we do our wood bed. And then I don't care if it's going to be covered up or not, this all thread holding the fender in place on both sides ain't gonna cut it. We're gonna put what will look like actual bedside stiffeners in there and get them all looking good and whatever else. So that's the plan. I've got another piece of bar here. I've already got it marked the same length as that other one, so I just need to cut this off, and then we're gonna have to come back and find out what's the furthest point back that we can put this without interfering with the wheel opening, which is probably gonna be somewhere right in here. And when we run that across there, then we'll have to figure out where we're gonna put it on the frame, and we're gonna end up having to do some kind of riser like we did up here, so that it sits level with this one and the ones in the back. So first things first, I'm gonna get this brace cut so we can set it in there and we can start figuring out what we gotta figure out. All right. Before I forget, pardon the wind, I'm trying to stay out of it if I can, but before I forget, don't forget to check out the merch site, harmongarage.net. I'll put it right here, and there's a link in the description. And watch this video all the way to the end, because I'm going to do a little giveaway. I'm not going to tell you right now what it is. I'll wait till we get to the end of the video, and then I'll tell you guys what it is, show you what it is, whatever. But make sure you watch the video to the end so that you can find out what the giveaway is, and don't forget to check out the merch store. So anyways, I got our second brace cut, and like I said before, it's coming up on an angle, so we're gonna have to make a pedestal for it to sit on so that it sits right. Now, I don't know how much that's gonna have to be, so we're gonna have to measure it all. I'm gonna bring the other camera out here. I'm gonna show you guys how I measure for it and yada yada yada. But I have this piece that I already cut to the same width as the frame, so we'll see how much we need to come up to flatten that off, and we'll cut this the same way we did this and put that on there to have our nice flat spot for our cross brace to mount. So I'm gonna go get the other camera and set it up on the tripod out here so you guys can see what I'm doing, how I'm measuring. I'll explain it to you. But like I said, with the wind, I'll do the best I can. I don't know how much the wind's gonna interfere. That other camera microphone picks up a lot more than this one does. So I'll do my best, that's all I can say. But we're gonna get this going, and yeah, we'll get her done. Okay, so like I said, I need to make this brace so it's exactly the same level with this one, which means I have to cut some pieces and like a standoff for it to stand up on so it'll work. Now, this isn't ideal, I guess you would say, but I mean, it is what it is. I want to put this right there. Okay, so this isn't going to be perfect for right this minute, but it'll give us a good starting point, so I know where I want my brace. We're just going to mark that like so, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure up off of the ground and find out where the bottom of my support is. And we're at like 21 7/8. So in order to get the front of this to 21 7/8, we need to come up about 1 1/8 inches. Yeah. Okay, so I need those to come up 1 1/8 inches on the front side, which we're going down a slant here. So they got to come up 1 1/8 inches on the front side, and on the back side they need to come up like 3/8. So, dang it, I should have wrote this down. So, here we go. We'll go back side, it's 3/8. And the front, I think I said was 1 1/8 inches, is that right? Yeah. Okay, so the front is 1 1/8. The back is 3/8. So what we're going to do here now is we know that our piece is going to sit flat on here. So I'm going to come through here and I'm going to measure an 1 1/8, and then I'm going to measure .3/8. So basically this is about 3/8 thick plate or steel here. So basically just have to cut that straight. And then we got our 1 1/8 marked down here. Come over to this side. And we'll mark our 1 1/8. Okay, and then I'll come over here. We'll do the same thing. This one's just going to be straight out. Same thing with this side, just straight out. And then over here, we need to go 1 1/8 and 1 1/8. Okay, so I got those marked. I'm gonna go and get a straight edge and I'll mark it across, and then I'm gonna go ahead with my cutoff wheel the same way I cut this out, and I'll just cut those pieces. Once I get those pieces cut, we'll bring them in here and find out exactly where they need to sit, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got everything measured 17 times. I got it all marked. Right where it needs to be. Marked it up here. Ran it down the side so I could see it. I've already got my pieces cut. I've got them cleaned up, both sides. So now I just need to come over here with my grinder and get some clean bare metal here, and then I already got the welder out, and we can just go ahead and weld our pieces on there. So that's what we're gonna do. What exactly it was, there was some grease on the frame over there or something, I guess. Ruined my boat. There we go. That should be good enough. Alright. Like I said, I got my marks down here anyways. Okay, got those welded in place. Now I'm going to take this brass back up here. Because I'm the perfectionist that I am, I'm just going to kind of eyeball the center on it. Looks pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and just put a tack on it like I did this front one. And I'll do the same thing over on the other side, and then we can come back and drill our holes to mount it to the frame. And then later on we'll be able to go back and take our cutoff wheel and just whack the tacks off. So that should do it. That should hold us in place where we need to be. Now I'll go and get a drill and some drill bits, and we'll drill straight down all the way through. And then this one's going to be a little bit rougher than the other one was, because this one I got this big standoff, and I was able to put a nut and a washer on the bottom side of the standoff and just bolt our bed to the standoff. Where this one here, I don't have enough room to get a nut in there, so I'm going to have to drill all the way through. And then when we drill all the way through, we're going straight down with a bolt and it's angling. So I'm just gonna have to go ahead and drill it, and then we'll have to come back and check it and see. Once we put a bolt in and put a nut on it, we'll see how it mounts, and if it's not mounting good, we're gonna have to come up with like a little spacer with the angle on it so that it mounts right. But I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna go get a drill and a drill bit, and we'll start drilling holes. Alright, 3 hours later, not really, but it feels like it. I finally got drilled all the way through my brace, the 1/4-inch steel plate that I welded on, and the 1/8-inch steel plate that's called a frame rail. Finally got through it all. So we'll go ahead and I just got 1/2-inch bolts with a flat washer on top, flat washer on the bottom, lock nut, or a lock washer and a nut, and they seem to suck up pretty good, even though they're on the angle. So I think that'll be okay. And then we'll get these tightened down, and then the next thing I'm going to do is take a bunch of measurements and I've had this bed squared up like 5 times already, but I've never had it mounted at the front. I had that cross brace in. I've got a bolt on the driver's side over here that's kind of sort of in there, but it's never been mounted. So I need to take measurements. I need to make sure that my spacing from the back of the cab to the front of the bed is right, which I'm sure it is, because I've had the back of the bed mounted since I set the bed on here, so it can't really move that way, but it can move side to side, and moving side to side will change the measurements front to back. So if I get the measurements front to back the same, and then do some side to side measurements the best that I can, that should give me a good, I should be able to get it centered good. And actually what I might do, I might measure like across the back of the window and mark a center, and then measure across the bed and mark a center. And then if I line that line up and measure from the front of the bed to the back of the cab, and all that comes out right, then I should be pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and take those measurements and make those marks, and then once we get it straightened up, which, I mean, do you guys want me to show you taking all those measurements and stuff? It's not going to be all that exciting. You do? Alright, well let me get a tape measure and a marker, and we'll take some measurements. Okay, I tried to move you guys because I noticed there was a pretty bad glare from the sun going down over there, so hopefully it helped. So I'm just going to go okay, so outside to outside on the rear window seal is 60 inches. So come over here like so. And because it's the easiest to clean off, I'm just going to go ahead and put a mark right there on the window. It's a good chance you ever see this truck in person, that mark's still going to be there, because I'm absolutely terrible about remembering stuff like that. So now I'm trying to find somewhere I can measure here that's a nice even number. There we go, 66. The 60, half of 66 is 33, right? I think so. So we're gonna go 33. Now, I know you guys can't see this very well, but I can. My mark on my window is right here. My mark on my bed is over here. So just kind of roughly eyeballing it, it looks like we're off by like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch maybe. I'll just go. Pretty much right like that. And that's got us centered, but I'm gonna go, that's perfectly centered. But I'll still go and look down the side and eyeball it, because if I can move it a little bit and eyeball it and it visually looks better, but it's not dead center, then that's what we'll go with. So back of cab, front of bed, right here where the bedside meets the front, 2 inches. Same thing on this side, about 1 7/8 inches, so we're off a little bit. Which we shouldn't be, because it was right on earlier. 1 7/8 inches. Every bit of 2 inches. Gotta get out of here where I can manhandle this thing. Okay, that's a little under 2. And our marks are perfectly lined up. We've got 1 15/16. We've got 2 inches on the money, maybe slightly less. So that's within 1/16 of an inch. Are you guys going to notice 1/16 of an inch? Because if you are, I'll fix it. But if you're not, then I'm just going to leave it alone. It's dead center. Alright, camera battery died. And I talked for like 5 minutes before I realized that the camera battery died. So I probably did you guys a favor, because I don't even remember everything I said. So I just saved you from listening to me talk forever. But anyways, I was talking about it. It's dead on the money. I mean, we're less than 1/16 of an inch. Let's call it a 32nd from being perfect. And on a 72 model truck that's 51 years old, I mean, 32nd of an inch. You go out there and find another bed that's within a 32nd of an inch of perfect. Somebody did a good job on it. So anyways, we're gonna call that good. Hopefully you guys can see, but it's spot on. It looks great down the sides. It looks good across the front. Everything squared up. I measured from corner to corner, corner to corner. It's the same. Not much more I can do to make it better. So now what we're gonna do, the way this is supposed to work is it's got a wood bed floor, and the wood is supposed to go on top of the brace, and then the rail on the bed goes on top of the wood. So you like slide the wood in there, and then you're supposed to drill down through it, or it's supposed to have holes in the metal, you know, and you drill down through the wood, and you put your bolts in, bolt it together, and that's what holds the bed to the rails, is the wood. Well, that's not how we're gonna do it. I'm going to make some spacers of some sort, and basically I'm welding the bed sides to the cross braces. I'm gonna make some pieces that go in there, and they're gonna weld it on there so that it's all welded up solid and the bed can't move. And that's what we want. I mean, you get the wood in there, you get some flex in the wood, yada yada, whatever. Maybe not, but whatever. I'm welding it. It's permanent. It's pretty well permanent in the back. It's got this brace, this piece that goes to the brace, and it's part of the bed, and I actually cut it off and welded it back on when I cut the wheel arches. This one here's got a piece that's part of the bed, and it comes down and is bolted to that cross brace. I don't ever plan on taking this bed apart. If I do take the bed off, it's all gonna come off in one piece. It's not gonna get piece by piece. So I'm gonna permanently weld that together, and I'm gonna do that right now. Well, not right now, because the sun's going down, and I'm gonna go home, spend some time with my family. And then I'm gonna come back first thing in the morning. We're gonna make those pieces that I'm telling you about. We're gonna weld them all in there and make the bed one with the supports. And then I got a couple more things I wanna do in this video to finish up all the structure of the bed. The mounting, the structure, to keep it straight the way it's supposed to be. I told you we're getting rid of that all thread and whatnot. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow morning. We're gonna come over here, we're gonna hammer out a bunch of work, and we're gonna have fun doing it. All right, time to get back to it. I spent some time thinking about it last night, and I was thinking about like making a little standoff to go in between my cross braces and my supports and the bed, and just like a little piece of tube or a bolt or something, and just welding the bed to the top of it and welding the bottom of it to the cross brace. And then when I put my wood in there for the floor, I could just notch it to go around that and slide in. And that was my plan. That's what I was going to do. But I thought about it last night, and I decided instead of doing that, like, I know this is kind of a different setup, but back here they got this bracket that came off of the side of the fender, and it turns into this, like, I don't know, mud flap or whatever it is, but that ties it all in. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, if I did something like that, it'd make it a lot easier, because I have my, trying to figure out how I can show you guys this, and sorry if the camera's not pointed in the right direction, I can't really see it. But anyways, I've got this lip here, and then I need my gap for my wood to go in there, and I've got this piece over here. So I'm thinking what I can do is cut a piece of like 16 gauge and basically cap the end of this support, make it follow this so I can weld it into here, then bend a 90 in it and pinch weld it to here, and kind of make it, you know, a big enough piece that it got some strength. So I'll do one on this side, one on that side, and then I'll make them for up here also, and then it'll be similar to the back. It'll just all be welded on instead of bolted, and it'll make the bed just all one piece. Like, you can always cut it off if you want to, but like I said, for me personally, if I'm pulling the bed off, it's easier for me to just take the 8 bolts out and pull the whole bed, set it off to the side. And so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get some cardboard together and start drawing out a template to work with over here, and I'll show you guys the process, and we'll finish getting this bed mounted. Okay, well, we're battling with the sun again this morning, trying to do my best to get a shot for you guys. So what we're gonna do here, I got my piece of cardboard, I bent a 90 on it, and we're gonna put it right up in this lip right here. And make sure it's nice and tight up there like so. And then we're gonna okay, so I've got my shape drawn out, which I need to go a little bit bigger than this because I traced it on the top, and if I just go that same size, then it's not going to be where I want it to be. So I need to go a little bit bigger than this so it'll cap that whole end. And then on the back here, I gave myself a decent line of where that's going to be. So now I'm going to go and take my scissors and trim this out a little bit, and we'll bring it back and test fit it and see how it does. Okay, I got this trimmed out. As you can see, I trimmed it on my line on the back, but I made it bigger than this because we're going to cap the whole end of this, and then we'll have plenty of room to weld. I'm probably not going to weld the whole thing, but we'll have plenty of room to weld it. So put that back where we had it, put that there, and then we can, that's going to fit there like we want it. And I'll probably have to make a little extension piece for the side over here to make this fit, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to make it sturdy and mounted. We're not too worried about aesthetics because you'll never see it. So I think if I take this and change this 90 over, I should be pretty close to fitting on the other side too. So I'm gonna try that, and if I am, then I'll be able to just trace two of these out on metal and cut them out, and I'll just have to bend that 90 the opposite direction, and I'll be able to do both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and check over there and see if that's the case, and then if it is, we will get this traced on the metal, and if it's not, we'll get this traced on the metal. Alright, we lucked out, and both sides will work with this same piece. So I just have to bend them the opposite way. So we're gonna trace this out on here, two of these out on here, and then I think I might rough cut them with the cutoff wheel, but then I'm gonna take them over on the bandsaw and we'll cut them out. So I need to mark that right there, and right there, so I know I got to draw a line across there so I know where to bend it. And we'll trace out another one. Now, hold on, let me finish this and I'll show you. You guys probably can't see this because of the sun glare, so I'll bring it up there where you can see it. Okay, so I still have to go and get a straight edge and mark my line across there, but anyways, now you guys see this? I can't see the camera, so I don't know if you can see it or not. Okay, so you see I got these outlined. Now I traced the outside of my cardboard that I made my template out of, and I got a pretty precise fit on the one edge. to line up to the wheel well opening. So when I cut these, I want to cut straight through my mark so that my edge on my metal is in the same spot that my edge on my cardboard was. So they're the exact same size is what I'm saying. I don't want them to be a little bit bigger. So that's the deal. I'm going to go over on the bandsaw and get these cut out, and then we'll mark them and get them bent, and we'll be ready to put them in. Okay, I got these pieces all bent, got all the paint cleaned off of them, yada yada yada. Put this in here. Like so. And then I'm gonna get it tacked in. As soon as I have a ground. Alright. Now maybe we'll get somewhere. Okay, back to what we were doing. Get this in here. Like so. Get a couple tacks on it. Alright, well, those weren't very good tacks, were they? Alright, there we go. That's better. Or not. I don't know why this isn't sticking to this. I don't know. Alright. Maybe I forgot to turn the gas on again. Nope, it's on. And that's sticking, and that's sticking. It's just this one weld over here's not. I don't know. Okay, I got that pretty well tacked in place. I did my plug welds up here. I got a few tacks down there. Now I'm going to go back and put better welds on this to stiffen it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the other side also and get this side welded up, get that side all welded up, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing on the front too, on both sides, but they're going to be a little bit different because they're just going to be a, you guys see over here? Yeah, they're just going to be a 90 that goes down on those and gets welded. So that's all we're doing. I'll get those. By the way, this is 16 gauge. I didn't want to use anything like super thick, but I didn't want to use something thin that was gonna bend and move and stuff real easy. So this 16 gauge, once it's welded up, and there's 4 of them on here, it should be plenty stout for everything. So be back in a minute. Okay, I got all those bed mounts, I guess is what we're gonna call them, put in place and welded in and solid, and it went way better than I expected it to. I remeasured everything on the bed after I got those all done, and everything is still really square and really in place. I had to move some stuff a little bit to make it so that it was still square and in place. Sorry about that. I lost track of my mind. Whatever. Anyways, those are in. I've got both cross braces permanently attached to the bed, and this thing is solid. You wiggle the bed, the whole frame's moving, and I can tell you right now, it wasn't like that this morning, because he went to wiggle the bed and it would move all over the dang place. The bed just by itself would. So my idea worked. It's nice and tight, everything's good. Bed is mounted, and we have it set up perfect to where we can still do our wood bed floor. Now, I told you earlier in the video that another thing that we were gonna do as part of stabilizing and mounting this bed was get rid of this all thread. For one thing, if anybody ever looked underneath there, it looks totally hideous. Second, the way I got it mounted right there, if that spring starts working, it's hitting the all thread, most likely bending the all thread and damaging our bedside. So I happen to have these here, which are stabilizing rods for a bed. I honestly can't tell you what bed they came off of. They might have come off of this bed. They might have come off of the bed that, I think some of them came off of these fenders when I took them off of the other bed. It doesn't matter. They're actually stabilizing bars for a bed. And so I went ahead and did one side already just to check it and make sure it was all gonna work the way that I wanted it to. And it did. So I'll show you the side that I already got done, and then I'll go through the other side with you step by step and get that bed brace in. And then I'm just gonna tell you this now so I don't have to tell you, or so I don't forget to tell you later, and yada yada yada. But if you look down in there, you see where there used to be a brace there, used to be a brace there, and it's the same thing on the other side. Once I get the fenders all completely welded on, I'll be putting braces back in there, and they're going to be welded on also, because the fender's welded on. So why have a bolt-in brace? Because you're not going to be able to take the fender off. So everything will be welded solid, but there will be braces there, so if for some reason something rubs this fender, it doesn't just collapse it. But I want to get the fenders all completely welded on and done before we put those braces in, which will be in an upcoming video very soon. We'll get the fenders all done and body worked and get the bracing put in. So that will be coming. And we're also going to make a video on doing our wheelhouses or wheel tubs or whatever you want to call them. And I think that's going to be the next video, and I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a fun one. So anyways, yeah. So what I did here, and like I said, we'll go through this step by step, but I took a bolt and ran it. I drilled out, I oversized the hole in here all the way out to like 7/16, however, the biggest part of my step bit. And then I took this 5/16 bolt and I welded it to my support rod. And then I stuck it up through here, held it up as tight as I could, and then welded it in there. Now what I'm gonna do now, I didn't do it yet because I wanted to show you guys, which I'll show you again on the other side. But I'm gonna take my cutoff wheel and I'm gonna cut this off flush with the top of this. That way, this is welded solid, secured to my brace, and I can lay a board flat on top of it without having to relieve it or anything, because when I put this bed floor in, I haven't 100% decided yet, but I'm pretty close. I'm definitely doing pine because the truck is evergreen, and evergreen is pine tree, and at least as far as I know it is. Anyways, I'm planning on doing a pine floor, and I'm planning on doing like a tongue and groove so that when you look at the bed, it's just totally smooth. There will be bolts along the sides, and I haven't decided if I want to hide my bed bolts underneath or have them go through. I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to use carriage bolts and have them go through. So the only thing you'll really see is perimeter bolts and carriage bolts holding that down. I don't want to do the individual slats with the strips. I don't want to do that. I want to do something that's going to be different and look cool. Honestly, if I could find like a 8 foot or 6 foot by 6 foot square board where it was all one smooth piece and I could just put it in there, I would, but I can't do that anyways because it's got to tuck underneath the edges. So you guys know what I'm saying. You're following me. That's a little ways down the road. I still have to notch the frame. I still have to build shock mounts. I still have to clock the rear end, and I can't do that until after I get the engine and transmission in. And yeah, you know, there's still a whole crap load of stuff that we got to do before I put a bed floor in this, but just kind of telling you guys what my ideas are. So anyways, we're gonna get on to this, and I'm gonna get the other camera and we're gonna go over it. But for now, I've got my bolt, I've got my rod. I put this through here, and then somewhere around here, see, I already can't find the tools to do it. Anyways, what I did is I stuck this bolt through here like so, and then I put a pair of vice grips on there so that it couldn't move in and out, and then I welded the head on. And then, like I said, we pushed it up through the hole there and welded it, and then welded it out there. And then we're just gonna, and then I got the all thread out. I'll take this all thread out, and it'll all be welded in, and it'll be solid. So I guess I pretty well just explained it to you, so I don't really need to film the whole deal going through it and step by step. So I'm just gonna go ahead and knock it out real quick because why not? And then I'll bring you guys back and show you the braces when it's done, and maybe give you a little bit more up close on the bed mounting, which I don't really want to do because the welds look terrible because I was lazy and didn't clean the metal on the braces very well, and this was kind of hard to get to, and I was just kind of lazy. So the welds don't look that great. I like my welds to look good. I'll show you some good looking welds though. There's some good looking welds right there. Good looking welds right there. There you go. There's your good looking welds of the video. I'm gonna go ahead and finish these braces. I'll show them to you when we get done, and then we're gonna move on to some giveaway stuff. Okay, I got the brace in there on this side. I already showed you I had that one in. I cut both bolts off, and I ran like a spot weld on the top just for a reinforcement. If I go to put the wood on and that gives me an issue, I'll just grind it down some. I cut them flush and they were fine. They were still on there good, but I figured I'd just add a little extra because I overdo everything. But regardless, you know, so. And I'm glad to finally have this bed mounted. There's my brackets. They're spot welded on the top. They're welded on the side, 16 gauge. once again, I moved the bed, the whole truck moves. It's mounted nice and solid. I'm really glad to have it done because that was one project that I wasn't exactly sure how I was gonna do it, and I wasn't looking forward to doing it, but it turned out good. I mean, I just happened to have a brain fart, I guess you'd call it, and like, hey, why don't I just mount it like that? That's kind of how the back's mounted, and it really wasn't that big of an ordeal to make those tabs and get them welded in, and it worked out really good. The bed's really stiff and strong, and it's square, and everything's good. And now I can go back to the fun stuff, like getting the fenders done and getting the body work done, and I'm really looking forward. I don't know why, but I'm really looking forward to doing the wheel tubs. They sound like they're going to be fun to me, so we need to do those and whatnot. So anyways, I'm talking a lot. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video that there was going to be an option for a giveaway, and that you had to watch till the end of the video to find out what it was. Well, we're not at the end of the video yet, but we're to the giveaway part. And if that doesn't make any sense, it probably doesn't, because I'm dumb. But anyways, I'm making something, and the thing that I'm making is going to be the giveaway item. So I'm going to show you guys what that is now, and then I'm going to build it on this video so you can actually see it being made by me, and then we'll do the giveaway. So I have a couple of these 3/4 ton 12-inch dog dishes that came off of a 4x4. I've been carrying them around forever. So I've got 2 solid hubcaps. The other 2 have the hole in the middle for the hub. So I don't have any 4x4 stuff, so I don't really have a full set of the 3/4 ton 1 ton dog dishes, and all my 3/4 ton 1 tons that I got around here at Dooley's, so I don't really need them. So the other day when Pops was still here, he's gone, by the way, he's gone back home and probably won't be back down to help me out until January sometime. He's got other stuff to do. But we were looking for an air cleaner option for Sparky, and we looked on all the normal websites and places you buy stuff, and we checked the parts stores and all that, and I don't know, $40 to $60 for an air cleaner is kind of ridiculous. And I've got stock air cleaners. We could have thrown one of them on, but that's just not the thing. So I was thinking about it, and I was sitting at home, and I was like, man, I've got those dog dish hubcaps that I'm not doing anything with. They'd make a cool air cleaner. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make an air cleaner with this dog dish hubcap, and then I'm gonna do a giveaway to give it away, and I'm gonna make a second one for myself with the other hubcap that I got and put it on Sparky. Now, it's not like you can't do this yourself, or anybody else out there can't do it, so it's not like, oh my gosh, it's a one of a kind, you'll never find another one. But this one that I'm making to give you guys, and the one that I'm making for Sparky, is the only 2 that I'm ever gonna make. I'm not making any more because I don't want to. So we're gonna do this one, we're gonna do the one for Sparky, and that's gonna be it. Now, whoever wins this thing, if you want me to custom paint it for you, if you want me to sign it, if you want me to bash it with a hammer because you don't like it but you just want it anyways, that's all fine. When you win, that can be your choice option. And the base, I gotta make the base. When I make the base, I'll probably leave it unfinished. So you can either choose how you want it, or you can do it yourself when you win it. But anyways, I'm gonna get going on this. Like I said, I have my dog dish hubcap, which is obviously gonna be the top. That's 12-inch. We got a 10-inch filter here because I want the dog dish to be able to go down over it, which this filter is just for fabrication purposes. But I'd actually like to use like a 10x1 filter. So when this is bolted down, This is going to be like really close to where you can't even see the filter, but being that we're using a 10-inch filter and a 12-inch cap, it's going to give us an inch all the way around where it can pull air in, which will pull in plenty of air. So like I said, a 1-inch filter would be better. I'll buy a filter to send out with the air cleaner when it's one, I guess. So, and we're not painting dog dishes, we're not making anything perfect. It's going to be just like it is for the rough look, and that's how we want to do it. So I've got this ring. I had my buddy cut this out for me on his plasma cutter. This inside circle is 5 1/8, which is the throat of a 4-barrel carburetor or like a Holley or Motorcraft 2-barrel, and then it's 10 inches on the outside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a ring here that's about 1 inch tall, so it has a standoff, so it sets it up off the carburetor to clear linkages and fuel lines and whatever else, so it'll pretty much fit any carburetor. And then I'm going to come around here on the outside and I'm going to put like a 1/4 inch lip all the way around the outside of this so that the filter can't move, like it sits down in there good. So, and then we'll probably flatten this off just a little bit. We'll drill a hole dead center in it so your carb stud can come through it. This is going to be the one that I give away, but once we get it all done, we'll take it out and just set it on Sparky so everybody can see what it looks like. But in the meantime, I'm going to get some crap together to start doing this, and we're going to start doing it. All right, so like I mentioned, I've got my ring here, and then I've got this strip that's already been cut out. My buddy cut this on the plasma, not for this, I've had it laying around, but I was going to do like a 1-inch standoff. This is 1 1/4 inches, so we're going to call that close enough. So I'm going to go ahead, take a wizard wheel with some 80 grit on it, clean the paint off of this ring, and then we'll clean up this, and then I'm just going to try to take this and set it in here and keep it straight and go around and weld it, and then we'll, you know, cut it and finish it when we get all the way around. But when you try to make metal follow a circle like that and you don't have like a pipe or something to wrap it on, it has a tendency to twist and stuff. So we're going to see how it goes. If we can just kind of tack it and move and tack it and move and tack it and move, then we'll be in really good shape. If we can't, then we won't be in really good shape. So I'm going to clean it up first, and then we'll see what it's going to take to get that on here. All right, like I said, we're just going to put this on here and try to bend it around. See what happens. Just gonna try to do it slow and easy. Okay, pretty well got that on there. somewhat looks like a circle. I'm going to have to kind of do some tapping on it and whatever to make it good and round. But right now I got to go get a cutoff wheel, slice this, and butt it up with the other end. Then we'll get that welded, and then we'll go back and slowly weld around the outside so we don't get it really distorted and stuff. And then we'll kind of do what we got to do to get it sitting nice and flat like we want it to. And yeah, just keep on going with it. Alright, well, I knew I needed to leave a gap there, or cut it a little bit short so that I knew I needed to cut it a little bit short, but basically what I'm getting to is I made it way too short. So. But it'll be okay. I can feel it. Alright, now, in order to get this round, I don't think perfectly round, I don't think I have, and I'm not welding this up until I get it all done, but I don't think I have a dolly for like hammer and dolly that's going to give me the right radius. So what I'm probably going to do is find like a thick piece of pipe or a piece of round solid stock or something, so I can just go around the edge and just work it to make it round, especially right here. And this is, the hat's a little bit off, but it flexes back real easy, so it'll be okay. We got it. I'm just going to tap on that. You guys don't really need to watch that, but I'm going to tap on it to get it as close to perfectly round as I can. And then I'll go back and tack 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 and tack, and then I'll bring you guys back. And dang, I rhymed. Anyways, I'll bring you guys back, show you where we're at after I get that welded up and that straightened out. So hang tight. Alrighty, so I got this kind of welded on there. It's not welded up all the way, but I'm letting it cool because I don't want a lot of flex in this. And I still have to put my rim around here to keep the filter from sliding out. And I was going to take and cut like a 1/4 inch strip of metal and weld it on here and go all the way around with it. But that's too plain. That's too simple. We're trying to make kind of a rat rod-ish patina air cleaner here. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I got this like 1/4 inch round rod or 5/16 round rod. I put that on there, that'll hold the filter in. And it's nice and stiff, so if I take this and tack weld it on here, it'll hold this rim perfectly straight and help me when I weld this. So that's what we're going to do. I got this round rod. I wish I've looked through everything I got. I don't have anything that's 10 inches that I can run it around the outside of. But I'm hoping that I can just kind of gracefully manhandle it and kind of get it close to where we need it. It's hard to get it on like the end because you don't have enough leverage, but if I can get it somewhat close. I got a piece of pipe over there in my vise, and I can take it and put it on the pipe and tap it to make it round. So we just got to kind of do our thing to get it close to the right size. And All right, I'm gonna take this over and try to round it up on my bar over there with a hammer a little bit, try to get it more straight and round it out a little bit, and then we'll bring it back and set it back on here and see what we have. All right, well, that ended up taking a lot longer than planned. Probably would have been easier to take my little 1/4 inch strip of metal and go around the outside, because I didn't have anything other than that air filter that was 10-inch diameter that I could bend that rod around to make it a perfect circle. With that being said, I think I did a pretty dang good job of making a perfect circle, and yeah, it turned out okay. Filter fits in it. I still got a lot of welding to do, but I think it's gonna be all right. So here it is. Got our rod going all the way around. Nice circle. We got our piece in the middle. It's a nice circle. I still got to do some fill in there. I still got to finish welding there, but I was trying to get this flat and we're dang near there. I got to flatten it a little bit more, but it's pretty close. So I don't think I'm gonna finish this in this video. You guys can see what I'm doing. I got there, we got our base plate, and it's got, you know, some welding to do and it'll be done. And then, like I said, we need a shorter filter, but that filter sits right in there. And then we're gonna have this on top of it, and it'll be able to pull air from up underneath all the way around. And then we're gonna put a hole right in the center of that, dead center, so that we can you know, run all thread on it and make it do its thing. So I got a lot more welding to do on this, but I've got to get a video up today because I do everything in my power to get them up on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock, and it is Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So I got to get home and get this video edited and get it up for you guys. So I'm gonna drill the hole in that real quick, and then I'm just gonna take this out and stick it on a truck so you guys can see it and see what it's gonna look like. And then I'll finish it up in the next day or so and put it on the next video so you can see it all finished. But and I'm definitely gonna go buy a shorter air filter so it looks right, because that filter doesn't look right with it being that tall. Let me look around. I may have one in another truck. I think I got a small air filter in one of them, but I'm gonna drill that hole in that. I'm gonna get that out, hopefully not burn myself too much more. Get it out, get it on a truck, let you guys see it on a truck. And then, like I said, I'll finish it up. But the giveaway starts now in this video. Like, as soon as this video's live, the giveaway takes off. Today is December 5th. Yes, December 5th. We're gonna run the giveaway through December 20th, 2023. So everything that you buy on the harmongarage.net, which I'll put it right here, website, the link's in the description. Everything that you buy on the website, $1 equals 1 entry to win the air cleaner that I built. So if you're interested in getting the air cleaner, you can win it by buying something off of the merch site. I'm gonna go do what I said I was gonna do. I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll end this one up. All right, so probably blinding you guys with the sun again, or I'm blinding myself or something, but anyways, we're out here at Sparky, and I got a shorter filter that I found on another truck, so we just borrowed it for a minute. It's to put it in here and show you guys, and this is the vision I had. It's not with that tall filter, it's this. So here it is. This is what the air cleaner is going to look like. You open the hood and all you're really going to see is just this dog dish sitting there. And you go, well, where is it going to get air from? You look down underneath there, it's got plenty of room to pull air in. And it's going to do its job. So if you're interested in winning this exact air cleaner, it's not going to be another one like it. It's not going to be something else. It's going to be that exact one. I'm going to pull it back off of here and finish welding it up, grind it all down, make it look like somebody that knew what they were doing made it, maybe. And then I'll show it to you guys on the next video, like I said, which hopefully will be out this week. And then all you got to do is go buy something off the merch site. Every dollar that you spend equals 1 entry to win the air cleaner. So if you buy a $20 t-shirt, you get 20 entries to win the air cleaner. And just so you guys know, before we even get into it, all the merch on my website is made to order. So if you order it today, it'll get made today or tomorrow and then sent out. So if I get like 100 orders and we got to make all that stuff, it might take 3 or 4 days to get it made and get it shipped. So if you order it today, don't expect it to show up on like Thursday. It'll probably be next week sometime. But I usually get it done really fast and get it out. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. If you order it, it may not be 2 to 3 days. It may be 5 to 6 days, but it'll come, I promise. So hopefully you guys are interested in the air cleaner. Hopefully you're interested in something off of my merch site to win the air cleaner. And what else? Bed is permanently mounted on evergreen. I'm super excited about that. And I guess that's about it. Everybody go down in the comments and leave a comment and tell Pops that he needs to come back and help me out because we're struggling without him. So leave a comment, tell Pops, hey, get back to the shop. And other than that, that's gonna be it for this one. So thank you guys so much for watching. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time.